Dom DeMarco.
There we go. Yeah, I peeped that, Daniel. Thanks for that. I could see it on my side. All right, there we go. We are clean and good to go. Let me send a message to the Discord really quickly for the stream. Let me do that, and then we can go ahead and get started. I am not going to be up here a very long today. I am sorry. I do have uh, an event to attend. Discord. Announcements. Okay. All right. Discord messages out. All right. We in here. What's up, Daniel? And anybody else entering or I don't see yet. Happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope all your troubles are getting solved. I hope all your problems and anything else. I hope everything gets better for you. Um, but we come here to talk about anime, Tower of God. So I I and anything else a little bit of whatever. But um I do hope to help people get away from issues and enjoy what they like to read and talk about. So happy Friday! I hope everybody's well. I was a little bit sick earlier in the week, so that's why the Tower of God review came out. I had a bad breakfast sandwich. I don't know what the was on that thing. Um, I kind of consumed it, and then I woke up a couple hours later, and my stomach was in tatters, and I was kind of down bad all Thursday. I mean, Wednesday. So sorry for getting the review out late this week. Shit happens, but I'm good now. Um, and this chapter this week, very interesting. A lot of things happen. A lot of details. A lot of background questions. A lot of characterization. There's a lot of things to talk about that I don't have necessarily massive opinions on. Like I don't have a lot of massive opinions on the stuff that happened this week. I saw a couple of different people in different spaces debating different things. With the wings reference to V, which caused a lot of issues with people. The blue fire stuff. V's decision making, V's characterization. Zahard. There's a lot of little minor details that like don't really affect the massive majority of the story, but a lot of like nitty things that we can that we can kind of add up and talk about. So those things are cool. I do like the details, and I do like that. We getting to see what kind of person V is, and also just a flashback of the family heads in general. It's just like any everybody knows Tower of God's lore is one of the best things about it. Like the background, like CU created like one of the best backgrounds that like people want to see and hear about, read about. Anytime they get a detail about it, they go nuts. Like so, this is one of those times where we get to see the younger versions of the family head, so everybody is excited. Just like the last flashback we got with trauma and everything. Flashbacks are always going to do well. They're always going to be rated high because um, I do have crazy opinions in the comment section. Okay, well, well, dang, I'm definitely here to talk about it, and I'm pretty sure anybody else that's in here talking about lore stuff and have any crazy opinions, feel free to share. I'd love to talk about it or answer any questions that you may think what I think. But like I said, I don't have any massive blah, 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 opinions this week that's gonna make me spew for 45 minutes like I did last week. So the one thing I did like admit to and I walk back on was Zahard. So I've always had it in my mind that Zahard wasn't necessarily a good person, and that's only because the Zahard that we have now is a demon, and I don't think anybody can really argue that. Now, there's always the background possibility that everybody has said it, that Zahard's deep down a good guy, and that everybody else is evil. I've heard that. I've heard that play. Even little tidbits of this chapter when you see him like being upset about people dying kind of feeds into that narrative a bit, even though it's not much to really be like, oh my god, Zara's a good guy. I don't think it's anything like that, but I will walk back my own statements in saying that Zahar wasn't necessarily always an evil person. That was my own opinion. I always thought that, especially like even the Dada version of Zahar that we got, like he was a bit of an asshole. Like bro was an asshole. Like people can argue that, but he was very smart. And he murdered the rest of his friends' Dada versions. Like bro wasn't exactly a fucking saint. Like so, yeah. I think the evidence is overwhelmingly against Zahar being a good person, but I will walk back my statements that Zahar was always like a gamer who didn't care about people. Now, a question, a question that I had for myself. I was wondering if the people that died this chapter. Now, again, this isn't one of those massive opinions, it's just thoughts that come to my head. But I was thinking to myself, were those people that passed away this chapter, do you think those people were possibly irregulars? Like I only say that because it kind of it's my own bias. It's my own bias to support my own narrative. But I'm not saying that I'm correct. I'm just saying it kind of supports what I think about Zahard. But I was thinking, obviously they're kids, so death is not something they're really, really super duper familiar with that they have to deal with, especially if it's like something they can fix or help or anything. The people that passed away, I don't know if they were like irregulars. Like, and there's no way for us to know that. But it's just that their reaction to them passing was kind of like, okay, they really cared about these regular people. Now, again, they could just be kids who are playing a game, but people can die at, and they could feel really bad about that. That's extremely possible. Don't get me wrong. But a part of me was thinking like, well, we know that there are hidden irregulars. We do know that there are hidden irregulars. So I was thinking, well, the hidden irregulars would be around, like, they would be prominent around this time. Like, we would see their faces around now in the flashback. If they still exist and they're still a story thing, they would exist now. So I was thinking in my head, well, were there some like hidden irregulars in there? Now, Daniel, I see what you said. It could be followers. It could be that too. It's just that the how like they seem very like moral characters right now, and I'm saying they're young, so of course they would be. They would care about people dying, but a part also the other half of that is me. I was just thinking to myself like, well, what if those were actual like irregulars, or Daniel said they could be followers, but if they were like real people, um, so that's just a thing I was thinking. If anybody else thinks that, that's fine. I'm not tripping over that. But it's just a little thought that I had, like, oh, well, what if they like were real people and not necessarily Tower born? So, please don't tell me that Kun has the same power of V. That will make me hate Kun even more. Are you talking about the blue fire stuff, Kira? Mm, are you talking about the blue fire thing? Um, I don't see the blue fire thing is interesting because it's a protective flame, and that is what the firefish does. It's very similar to like the fire, and that's what I was saying in the review. Like the firefish could be born of this blue fire that he just got, but um, it said that it would protect and can be used. Correct me on the text if I'm wrong, but it could be used by people that he chose to give it to. Is that correct? Is that my because okay, here's what I assumed the way it worked. I didn't think it was a particular power that he was given to V, as in like he gave it to V, but V could give it to his friends and they could use it how he wanted. That's how I interpreted it. Now that's an incorrect interpretation. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But like I think of it exactly how the firefish works. The firefish was given the coon, the blue fire was given the coon to save his life in that same way, and now he uses it. That's exactly how I thought. Okay, V has it, and he can transfer it or give it to his friends, and they can use it to protect themselves. Um, what's that cat doing? So that's how I thought of it. Y'all let me know if y'all thought of it that in that same way. But I'm like, okay, this is like blue fire, but he said you can use it and give it to your friends and it'll protect them type thing. I'm like, okay, well he could just kind of pass this out like it's a key, like here, all y'all get a key, like So I don't know if that's necessarily a thing, but that was my interpretation of the blue fire thing. So, but I obviously, and I think it's pretty obvious that the blue fire thing absolutely has some relation to the firefish. It absolutely does. And Yeon Woo, but the thing is, I wonder if it's a thing like, and this would be pretty cool if it was, if it is an ability that you can pass around, like okay, you get blue fire, he would absolutely give it to somebody like Rang, who was already using fire since we seen her come back in the chapter. She was using the fire against V himself and fighting the robots. She uses fire, so him passing it to her makes complete sense. And if she like uses it in a masterful or different way, that would be cool as shit. And if she like inherited it and she could like pass it along to her family, and like not only her fire but the blue fire could be something like that's special, that let's just say if the blue fire is something that could be passed around, because again Yeon Woo had it, right? So that's important to know that somebody else besides like an irregular, and we know that Kun has the firefish, but he had it. So I wonder if it's a thing that can be granted. So like if Yi Rang family leader, right? What if like or what about the males? What about the males in the family? Because we know that Yi Rang's family has a thing with males, right? I wonder if that's a fire ability that males can get, the blue fire. I wonder if that's a thing. That would be pretty damn cool and interesting. Because I don't remember the whole Yeon Woo saga thing where he got the blue fire. What's up, Cam? I don't remember when he got the blue fire and how he used it and stuff like that. I just know that all I remember from back then that far is that he used it to save Kun's life. So if this blue fire was given to Yi Rang, and then like maybe the male line her family gets it or she gives it to them, that would be like a pretty down the line pretty cool thing if that's how it works. But the fact is that he had the blue fire, which is something that protected and saved Kun's life. So there is a relation there. It's just that there's a storyline we don't know how A, B, and C lines up. So it's just an interesting thought. behind the blue fire stuff. I'm at the read up again on the Yeon Woo stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that whole thing when Kuhn's life was in jeopardy, so I can try to connect some dots because the blue fire thing is definitely super duper interesting. So nah, they just normal people or followers. They wouldn't be staying still in despair. They should have been using the Shinsu to fight the robots in the panels. Well, Daniel, that's assuming that everybody we like Daniel. There's one thing that we can like absolutely kind of agree that exists is that there are hidden irregulars, but these hidden irregulars aren't necessarily a part of the 13 greats. Like the 13 greats stand out amongst the hidden irregulars that we assume exists, unless that's a thing that can be absolute retcon at some point. But the hidden regulars are supposed to be a thing because we know Yi Rang never had kids, even though and it's said that what her sister or somebody younger in the family had kids. So it's got to be a thing. So the like we can't count necessarily say that those people weren't irregulars because they weren't a part of the 13 grades. That's all. The males are treated like pilgrims, the females are treated great. Right, Cam. So I'm saying if the blue fire thing, right? If the blue fire is an ability that can be passed along, um, let's just say like the female, it would be a pretty cool concept because we've seen Yeon Woo with the blue fire. That's a protected fire. It'd be a pretty cool concept if the women in Yi Rang's family use offensive fire like we've seen. Um I can't think of goddamn nobody's name. Um, she was just in the fucking anime. I can. Wow, I can. Y'all know I'm bad with names, but just like the red fire that we seen Yi Rang use, and then the women could possibly use, the blue fire could possibly be a male thing within her family, and that would be cool. That would be cool if like the blue fire is like, especially if she doesn't like males in her family and giving them blue fire to just be protective and not necessarily offensive, which would mean that the women in her family do run the show because they have the offensive flame. um that would be, thank you, Kara, Yiwa. Since like women like Yiwa use the offensive fire, the blue fire is a defensive fire, and if she only gave that to the male line within her family, that would be a cool full circle thing to see. Like, oh, GOG gave that to V. V passed that on to Yi Rang. Yi Rang uses it as a tool against the males in her family. Y'all only get the blue protective fire. Y'all don't get offensive fire. Only the women can use offensive fire. That would be like a really cool full circle thing. Rand, we talking about the blue fire stuff. Um, so like the blue flame, there's absolutely a relation to like the blue flame is something we got from Yeon Woo. Yeon Woo was the one who saved Kuhn's life and like the firefish and everything else. I'm gonna have to go back and read that section because I don't remember all the details that he gave us. But um, I was just thinking that if the blue fire is a protective fire, it's not necessarily an offensive fire, and then that Yeon Woo, if he had that fire, then it could be a thing where the blue fire is a thing that can be passed along and used amongst people, and V passes it along to Yi Rang. Yi Rang passes it along to the males in her family, and they don't necessarily get to use the offensive fire. I don't remember the Yeon Woo details. There's something about him in his blue fire that I can't remember. I need to go. I need to go back and read that stuff. I need to go back and read that. You know. So, um, yeah, what's up, MS? What's up? I think it was given to everyone because the Guardian did say it was transferred to the monsters in the tower as well. Yeah, I think it's a thing that can absolutely. Well, I think it's the power. We're talking about the power. We're not talking about the blue fire. The power was passed along to the monsters, not the blue fire. The blue fire was a gift to only V, and he said that V could use it amongst his chosen friends, and I interpreted that as he can grant them the power of the blue fire to use how they choose to use it. Um, how does the hidden regular thing work? Did they not climb? So Cam, what I was talking about before we got into the fire stuff was that what if the people in the dam were hidden irregulars? Because we know that the hidden irregulars exist. They have to exist because Yi Rang's family is built off that concept that she never had kids and there was a family member within her family that had kids, type thing, right? So they have to be a thing unless that somehow comes out to be all retcon shit. That's a thing. So I was saying, what if the people in the dam, some of them were or maybe possibly been hidden irregulars? Now, Daniel was saying that, well, hidden irregulars wouldn't be sweet. They wouldn't be getting fucked on. Like they wouldn't get in a situation like that. Well, that's not true. First of all, our 13 greats who aren't necessarily great right now got stuck in a situation where they couldn't do anything. These and they're the third. Those are the people who will be the kings eventually. So they had to be like one of the top dogs at the time, or not. But those people who were in that dam could absolutely be irregulars. That's why I'm saying maybe that's why they were so upset over it. But I have no proof. I'm not saying that that's an actual thing. It's a guess. I'm just something to talk about. They could be Towerborn, absolutely, or they could be followers. But I'm saying they also could possibly be irregulars. So we don't know. But it's just a thing that I was thinking about after I did the review. So CU will always show irregulars that probably will appear within Bomb's group. Ground goes past the 134th floor. I don't know if he always will. I don't know if he always will. The hit. I don't know if he. I don't know if he will. That is one of like the seven wonders. Like if we had to make a seven wonders of Tower of God, what would be the seven wonders? The hidden irregulars is absolutely one of the seven wonders. Like, because what the fuck is the concept behind that? Like, how do we even explain that? Where do these people exist? What families are they in? We got evidence of a few that we could probably trace back if we really did the details, but like I don't see more than two people right now. So the hidden irregulars are beyond the 103rd floor, or they won't be shown until then. I don't know. I have no idea. That's what Daniel's saying. I'm not sure. Mark, do you think Demon Struck deal with Fug, the Blue Thressa, and the cameo in this chapter? Honestly, I don't think the Blue Thressa had absolutely anything to do with the chapter in particular. I think it was just a view of all the possible monsters that exist in the tower, and that the Blue Thressa was just like one of the most notable beings that we as the audience know face by face since it's been around for such a long time, and that it's just showing that, oh, the Blue Thressa was also affected by this. I didn't think it was anything like, oh, like the Blue Thressa is like doing something. I just thought it was just like showing like notable monsters in the tower that's affected. That's all. How can the irregulars defend themselves in the dam? I don't know. I mean, Cam, everybody, but here's the thing. Everybody was struggling. Everybody was struggling against those robots. Not just like understand. I think there's one thing we all need to understand. This is the beginnings of the tower, okay? So there is no family level leader power level people. These are the family leaders, and they aren't lit like that yet because as we just learned, revolution is a thing. So they not like that yet. And if they not like that, these people not like that. So if we taking all that into account, there's absolutely a scenario where like they could be getting their ass whooped too if these people are already getting their ass whooped. So that's how I see it. Like there is no super duper strong person. Like the most we know is that they relied on V and Zahar, and they might be the strongest that exists right now, as far as tower climbers. Um, so after this chapter, what is the Blue Thrust? Fam, we might have to go. We might legit have to go through Google and tower and look at the Wikipedia on the Blue Thressa. We might have to. We might have to do that real quick. Because I don't remember all the details surrounding the Blue Thresher. I'm sorry. I there are certain things that you make space for in your brain, and the Blue Thresher is not one of them. Um, Questions we need to ask: where was the other people in the group? True. Where were everybody? Spawning into the tower itself probably was overwhelming for people, so the irregulars probably didn't know what to do. At the time, they still weak. Yeah, exactly. They're still weak. They're not strong, and as you can tell, revolution is a thing. Revolution is something that V went through. So people will be granted power with this thing that V just allowed to happen. Like people will get stronger, but that means everything. So there is like they're struggling against fucking robots, bro. Like so um let's switch over to this real quick. I want to look at some details about the Blue Thresher. Okay, so the Blue Thresher. Classification admin active. The exact origin of Blue Thresher is currently still unconfirmed. Okay, so there is no details right now that's really confirm what we know about it. But author Siu has stated that this fake being is some mind being that mixed into Bomb as he climbed the tower and gained its power just like the thorn. It was not originally came from inside Bomb's body. However, during its first appearance, it says that it was called a demon that Thug has created. So that's a weird thing to say and then give it a cameo. Like that's such a weird thing to say and then give it a cameo. That's what I like. That's why I don't have any opinions because I don't really get shit that don't. If A, B, and then C don't match to get me to D, I'm not gonna think any further than that. So I don't have any massive opinions about the Blue Thresher because yeah, if it's a demon created by a thug, then like I don't fucking. The Blue Thread calls itself the Power. It proclaims it has the power to rule and conquer all enemies. However, it is power that was rejected by Bomb in the beginning during the encounter inside the rice pot in the Hell Express. During this battle against Dazar, Bomb accepted the Blue Thread and it manifested in the form of a small blue thorn on his head. Right. We know all that. We know all that. But as far as how it relates to what we just got in the chapter, I don't I don't have anything for that. Again, I think it might have just been a cameo. I don't think anything.
Yo.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Don DeMarco. Yeah, I don't have anything particular about that one. So, um, I mean, the only people we know who survive has some type of leadership attributes. True. So I was right. Fug blue threat. Yeah, you were Cam. Um, I guess they created it. But even then, like, how do you create a demon? Like, how do you create a demon though? Like, I'm not even understanding the concept behind that. Like, okay, let's just say the demon is like another like species, like animal is a species. Like we've seen Trom literally create shit. Like, okay, let's just say demon is another species. We just call it demon. Then okay, but like the blue threat's power is kind of fucking insane for what it can do. So I don't know. I don't know. Where do you rank the workshop compared to Jihad? I personally think the workshop is fascinating. I think the workshop is on the same level as the Zahard Empire. I think the workshop is its own entity in the world. Like so, kind of like okay, you know how um let's just say um from a world perspective, we know that from a world perspective, we know that there are leaders in each country, right? You got the president of the United States. You got like Kim Jong and Putin and those guys, right? We got leaders in each place. Then you have another strong entity that exists in the world, and that is the church. The church is a very strong entity that has influence in the political world as well. So that's how I see the workshop. The workshop is not necessarily leading people. Like the church is leading people, don't get me wrong. But the workshop is its own entity against like what is actually happening in the world. Like it exists to help people like in a way because like let's like the workshop I think is probably responsible for 95% of the infrastructure of the tower, so like the cities, food and like anything like that. I think the workshop created all that shit because remember before the before Zahar and them came in here, the floors were kind of just robots and plants type shit. Like don't get me wrong, there were some like established nations, but the workshop has existed since the beginning. So I'm inclined to believe that the workshop had like absolutely everything to do with creating the cities and shit that exists. So yeah. Oh, my man Cam, that's my that's my first joint. I appreciate it, Cam. Thanks, bro. Like that, I think it's my first joint. I legit my first joint. I just know she finally had super chat activated, bro. We'll be super chatting each week. I level two this shit. Welcome to the tower, my man. I appreciate you, Cam. Thank you so much, man. That's my first joint. Damn, appreciate it, brother. Really do. Um, yeah, it just threw me for a loop for a second. uh, cool to see. Cool to see. Did less like so Fug create an admin? That's a good point, Ran. The classification of I think the classification of admin is kind of like a really wide thing to talk about. It's a wide thing to talk about. Cause now I gotta look at administrators because that do sound absolutely crazy that they created an administrator level being. That's kind of nuts. Nah, we gotta switch back over. That's kind. I gotta read a little bit more now because it is kind of insane to think that now. Do I don't think the blue threat like okay. Here's the thing. I think there are things that exist that have administrator potential. Let me put it that way. I think the blue Threса, because the way it's described and the power that it has, I think it can um be I think it can get to that level. I don't think it is that level. But I think that depends on Bomb for sure. Like that depends completely on Bomb. So, all right. Are mysterious giant beings that rule over the Shinsu on the floor. Their duty is to give tests. All right, I know what an administrator is. I just want to know if there was like a different classification for administrators that exists like the Blue Threса. Because that is a good point. Them creating an administrator level being is kind of insane. It's kind of insane to think about. They even got Enkidu's blessing in here now. That's lit. I forgot that we were up to date, and so they got Enkidu shit in here. That's cool. Yeah. Alternate train manager, floor manager. Yeah, there are no details that kind of surround that. I don't know, Rand. Just going back to what you told, I don't know. I'm gonna kind of go like it's probably just like an administrator level being that can possibly get there. I don't think what happened to the chat box? Where's my chat box? It disappeared. Sorry, transitioning scenes sometimes resets it. I hope it's still there. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Did Lustig deal with demon species and the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Did Lustig struck a deal with the demon species and style enemy of my enemy is my friend? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. MS. I can see that being I can see that being a part of like a less like thing. Like given what we know about Fug, that could like I can see that being a thing. I mean, everything is made of Shinsu. Everything that has built Zahar Empire using are from the workshop. True. Um, assisting people for people in their daily lives, right? I don't remember the other two. What's the hairline situation? You talking about this? I just came from the barber. This is just something that my barber does when he's like lining up shit. I'm a fucking old man. I'm not a fucking old man. I'm 31, but I like my shit is like slowly receding type shit. I forgot that this was even up here, to be honest. I hardly look at my face when I'm talking. I kind of look at like my like my direct face, my mouth moving when I'm talking. I don't necessarily look at my head and anything past it. So just some shit that my barber does. That's all. Um, love from the UK. Appreciate you, anime boy. I get a lot of UK guys too. Um, if the tower is a game, is there a chance of people who were killed inside it to be resurrected part of family heads? Maybe there's a chance of it, but it was taken by the action of Zahar. What do you mean by that, MS? I gotta give me a Drewski soundboard. What do you mean by that? If the tower is a game, is there a chance people who were killed inside it to be resurrected? So you mean okay. So this is what I think happened to Bomb. I said this before. So I I think that's a possibility, MS, for irregulars. I think they don't. So, okay. I kind of explained and then went into detail about this last week. Towerborn, excuse me, people who are real people, like the irregulars. The irregulars are clearly different. They're real people. So, people like Bomb, who was made from Arlen and V. Bomb would be a real child. Though there might be some weirdness in his ability as a being because he was born in the tower, there might be something weird there because he's born in the tower. However, he is a real person. The way that we see Gustang talk to Trom about his daughter, about Annie is a real girl because she was born from Blossom and Gustang. So those are considered real people to me. Okay, the tower people are different people. They're tower people. They're born in the tower. Do I think a tower person can survive outside the tower? No, I do not. Shinsu is their world. Shinsu is what they need. So I think that they're like you can literally call. Let's call Shinsu oxygen. Let's call Shinsu oxygen. Shinsu is their fucking oxygen. I don't think they can survive outside the tower. Okay. Um. Now, as far as Bomb and Annie, they're real people. So I think what happened to Bomb, and this is my own personal thought. I don't think there's an outside God. I think that Bomb's a real child, and that he died within the game, and that when he went outside the game and he went back outside, he revived because he's a real person, and that real people when they go back outside, they're alive. That's my own process. That's my own thought process. Just me thinking about a god that exists on the outside is kind of crazy. And then like there's no reason that Rachel would know about it, but we've never heard Rachel talk about a god that exists. Like she's never like said anything about it. So I personally think that's what it is. My own thought process, especially if we're following the tower as a video game concept, that makes more sense to me. But yeah, so and that's the reason V wanted to move on to resurrect people who died in the journey. I think that applies to a regulars only MS. So, from what we, is there any proof that Amweez is not an irregular? I think she's Towerborn. I mean, I think she's Towerborn. I don't think there's any proof that she's not. But if they had people that climbed with them that were also irregulars and that died, and that if they climb the tower, defeat it, and they go outside, they could be resurrected. That could be a thing. I'm not saying that couldn't be a thing. That could absolutely be a thing. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to the UK. But Zahar didn't want to risk the chances of becoming king. I don't know why they sealed the tower, dude. I really don't know. It's just given what we know about them, it could be a god complex. Like it really it really could be a god complex. Like Zahar, like they, and that's kind of how it feels like. Even when we hear Yi Rang confront Anguise, when Anguise freaks out in that room, when Yi Rang freaks out in that room with Anguise, she says that now that we can like move oceans and destroy mountains type shit. That's a god complex, man. Like, first of all, we're immortal. And then we have the strength of fucking gods. Let's be real. Let's be real for a second. Everybody in the chat, let's be real for a second. If you had the power of a god, would you want to give that shit up? Would you want to give that shit up? Let's be absolutely realistic for a second. Would you want to give that shit up? I don't know. I don't know because I don't know what that feels like. And if y'all don't know, I get it. But I could imagine that shit has to feel absolutely insane, bro. That shit has to feel insane. Especially from where they came from. They went from regular people who enter the tower who can do cool things to being able to literally level fucking cities and planets, bro. Like they can do shit like that. Like that's insane to think about. Bro can level a planet. Like I'm reaching a little bit, but they could probably level a country for sure. Like that's just the just thinking about that is just like, well, would I want to give some shit like that up, bro? Would I want to give that up? That sounds fucking amazing. Now, granted, it has to get old, and that's why I think Gustang has crumbled, especially when like Gustang, he had a family and he lost his family, and then like if there's only a select number of regulars and that they're not cool no more, like, and they're not all like basically friends anymore, then like what are we doing here? Like I'm just existing for thousands and thousands of years not doing shit. So I don't know, man. um if V didn't share the revolution with them, they will have just regular level power. I think, Kira, that's a question. That is a very good question, Kira. if if V doesn't share the power, what happens? And I said this in the review. I don't know if half the tower, the way it is now, I don't know if shit happens the way it does. I really don't. We might just get plant and robot and regular shit, and they climb the tower, beat it all, defeat it all, and that's it, bro. That might legit be it. We have no idea to know what the ramifications of are of him giving that power to everybody. There absolutely are some ramifications, but that is one of the biggest questions. Like, okay, bro, you doing this? What the fuck did you do? What would have happened if you didn't do it? Like, would V just become like how there's a isekai and that there's a hero? The way it sounds to me is that V was the chosen hero, and instead of being the chosen hero, fam said, no, everybody's a hero. If everybody here is a hero, nobody's a fucking hero. There's pandemonium everywhere. That's kind of what it looks like happened. So, uh, so since V the new tower was all again, he decided to hit the respawn button. I don't know. I don't know if he had, but the thing is, he would have to me he would have to get outside to revive. That's my whole thing. You can't. I don't think you can revive in the tower. That's why no one can live on the floor of death because there's no Shinsu there, meaning they can't breathe. Talk to him, Cam. That's what I'm talking about. Talk to him, Cam. Put the pieces together. Put the pieces together. Very good. Very good. My man. I really don't love your theory of the tower as a game. I know I don't love it either, Kara, but I gotta talk about it because it makes sense. But I agree. It would but I think there are pieces of it that if it is a game that can make it cool. It could be cool. It's just the way it has to happen. So don't lose too much faith. We trust the CEO for this long. I still trust them. I personally think regulars can survive on the outside. I just because of the workshop, they'll make something and make it work. Without the workshop, they are cooked. The workshop is the one X factor, fam. The workshop is the X factor. Personally speaking, I think since we know that the workshop exists outside, I really positively 100% think that there is an entryway where the main workshop where Maxef is. I think there is an entryway from outside the tower and back inside the tower that only exists on the workshop. I don't know if anybody else thinks that. I think that's a thing. I absolutely positively think that's a thing. Because in an organization that exists on both sides, there has to be a doorway, and I think that's the doorway that got Arlen outside. I swear to you, that's what I think. Is it a thing? Who knows? That's my thing. I think that's a thing. I don't know, fam. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. The tower doesn't have to be a game system or virtual reality. Tower can be real structure that appears on the planet world where SSS. Exactly, Nitrox. It can still be a real thing. It could just be the tower itself is a game concept that like exists as a real game. Like I'm saying, if we as human beings, the way we are, if there's a tower that exists in your city and you can go play the game is still realistic. Like realistic as fuck. Like man, you get stabbed in that game, you getting stabbed. It's gonna feel like you getting stabbed. However, you're a real human. You can walk outside and be cool. That's not a bad idea. That's not a terrible idea. It's just that everything surrounding it has to make sense. So that's all. I like the idea of that. It's just it has to make sense. And this tower has to have absolute influence on the world. Like it has to be super important. So yeah. What about the Towerborns who haven't started climbing the tower yet? Like Hedon hasn't picked them. They don't even have a Shinsu contract yet. No. Uh Rand, I think there is Shinsu that exists like in where they live. I just don't think they can use it. And like again, I just think of it as oxygen. That's it's just as simple as that. I just think it as oxygen. That's all. Like they say, Shinsu is everywhere. It exists everywhere. No, nah. I can still be myself. Oh, y'all talking about the power thing? Yeah, you wouldn't want to give it up. My ADHD would probably make me miss regular life. Me too, Rand. Damn, being selfish would have been the better option. If V would have kept that power, he probably would have had Arlen. Wouldn't have Arlen. You think so? Hmm. I agree, raisins. Yeah. I mean, I agree. It does exist outside the tower. So is your theory there is no power in the outside and it's just a normal world? Yes, I think it is absolutely a normal world. What if these underworld realm and tower for irregulars? Also, if there are demons, there could be angels. That's why the thing with this Icarus thing is so important, MS. I think the concept of demons and angels with the angel wings and shit. That's why I think that shit is so important because you might absolutely be fucking correct. You might absolutely be correct. I just don't know. I don't think it's a game, but more so a different reality, and that's fine. I can accept that too. Arlen found the exit. The exit is in the workshop, bro. Workshop gatekeeping is crazy. I'm not, but you know what, Daniel? The workshop gatekeep. I don't know if that's yeah. I don't know if that's necessarily gatekeep. I just don't think the workshop picks any sides. I think the workshop is like Hedon. Like I don't think some people think Hedon has objectives. I don't, but I think his objective is just to move the tower forward. But the workshop is absolutely a thing to exist to help the tower move forward. That's it. And if there was a scenario if there was a scenario where Hedon said, if we send this a regular kid outside to let's just say Max Sif and Hedon had a conversation and was like, hey, we got to send this a regular being outside and let him reclimb the tower. He's going to be like a godlike being because he's already got Shinsu inside of him. And if he goes outside, he's going to revive. And if he comes back in, he's going to come in and be like be the one that kills a hard. If that was like a thing, a conversation that they had to get Bomb and Arlen outside, then I could accept that. Or, 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 what if Arlen had to give her life for Bomb to get through the workshop outside? So we're spitballing here. We're spitballing here. But let's just say the price for Bomb to get outside, for Arlen to get Bomb outside, was her giving up her immortality and her life to get him outside. I would accept that concept. I would accept that as a thing. Me personally, I would. That's fine with me. And that she also, like, let's just say you had to give your life to open the door. To open that door between the workshop and outside, you have to give a life. And that Rachel was the one who took Baby Bomb outside. I would accept that. I would accept that. Me personally, I would accept that. I think that's kind of cool. Um, because our so we was talking about it earlier, and I kind of want to throw this in chat, and I want to see what y'all if y'all can come up with some shit. What are the seven wonders? Like legit, what are the seven wonders of Tower of God? So I think I already have one. The hidden irregulars is absolutely a thing. The hidden irregulars are absolutely one of the seven wonders. I think number two, where the fuck is Arlen? Number two got to be where's Arlen? What happened to her? Is she dead? Where the fuck is she at? I think that's got to be number two, right? These are like the most massive questions in the story that have absolute influence on what happens. I think hidden irregulars are absolutely a thing, and I think Arlen, where the fuck is Arlen, is absolutely a thing. I think that's just two. Um, she's my goddess. Daniel, you out of the workshop, not letting you leave. They really gatekeeping. Rick Manzino ran to the tower because he was tired of his normal life. Could have been. Could have been. You know who Urek like? You know who Urek reminds me of? Urek reminds me of like a football player that's like think that he's good at everything and kind of ran into the tower like, oh, this is a game. I could do this shit, and he ran into the tower and absolutely did do it. But that's the kind of vibes he gives me. Like, does Urek not give you like a cocky like football player vibe? Like, am I the only one who thinks that? Like, even the way he dresses, he keeps his shirt off, constantly showing off. Like, that's jock shit. Like, if you, I'm pretty sure we've all had our experience with like with athletes and jocks. Does Urek not give off jock vibes? Like Urek was let's say he was a football star, and it's like he's like, can I help you, cat? Anyway, um, anyway, Urek, he gives me like a jock vibe. Like Urek was like a sports star, and he was on TV, and he announced on TV, and he was like, "Yeah, guys, I'm gonna hit the tower up. I'm gonna dominate it. I'm gonna get those guys up out of there. Watch me do this live." Man stood in front of a camera, waved to the people, went inside the tower, became a top five in the tower in literally no time. Like that's kind of how I see the Urek Manzino story playing out. Like legit. Like legit, like a complete jock, complete star. That's how he acts. The hat to the back, shirt constantly off, showing off his tattoos. Bro is completely a jock, bro. Bro, like that and that's why I kind of like it. Kind of that makes sense to me at least. And granted, he has it. Don't get me wrong. He's absolutely like he fits the role. He's talented. Like he's beat the tower in the shortest amount of time. He's obviously a top four. Like it fits. But now he's stuck. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's a cool thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, my cat. Like he just came and did his own thing. Oh, so you just gonna sit there now? All right, I'll leave you alone. Um, Arlen placed Rachel in charge of bomb, so Arlen didn't die immediately. I do believe she died though. I don't. I think she died too. I do think she died. But if she died to get bomb outside, I could believe that. Why was Yori left alive with Zahar? What do you mean, Ran? It's true. Hitting the regulars is a thing. Devil Man can use that power too. Right. Right. Because that's another. I don't know if that's a seven wonder. I don't know if that's a seven wonder. Um, what's his face? Who's protecting Rachel? Why can he use Shinwa Ryu? Y'all gonna pull up his name in the chat. Why can he use Shinwa Ryu? I don't know if that's a seven wonder though. It's a massive question, but he's the only person who we've seen that's a regular, or he could possibly be a right. Bro, if only irregulars can use Shinwa Ryu. He's got to be an irregular and a hidden, and at that point he would be a hidden irregular. By definition, he would be a hidden arc. No, not arc raptor. Art something. Arc. It's art. I can't think of the name. Y'all pull it up in the chat. It makes no sense for him to be able to do that. I don't know if that's a seven wonder though. It might be. It might be. It might be. Ghost. It might be. He might be a seven wonder. I might be wrong about that. Let me see something. Okay. I'm typing it out. Sorry. Move that up, and I'm gonna put it right down there. I'm gonna put it right down there in the corner. I think what are the seven? What would you can call the seven wonders? Like the most massive questions that you would have about the series that we don't know about, that we don't have answers to. And Arc Young, that's what I'm thinking about. Arc Young, yeah, Ghost, otherwise known as Arc Young. This text color. Ooh, I hate that. Let's not do that. Just gonna make it all black. Make it thicker. Outline. No drop shit on the outline. Looks terrible. There it is. I was trying to make it like. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm over playing with the font and stuff. I was trying to make it like really readable. Okay. All right, people had theory before that the Urek versus Sahara are going to defeat us good. Well, I don't think they're ever going to fight. I'm going to be real with you, nonchalant. Unless Bob get to a situation where he's about to fight Sahara and he's about to die, I don't think they're ever going to fight. I think that's the only way they fight. Tron, control your cat. Yo, Cam, you got to go ahead somewhere, bro. Go ahead somewhere with that. Uranus pissed about that. Are you talking about when Yuri got in trouble with Zara Empire for hanging with Bomb? Is the people had a theory about Ghost, his resurrected body of V used as a puppet of Hedon. Yeah, I know a lot of people think that. A lot of people think that's V's body resurrected. In all honesty, being that we are currently getting V content and that we're watching V, like, I think we need to, and I don't know if everybody, we need to pay very close attention to V's character and his abilities, and try to match that up with Archeon. Like we need to pay very very close attention. Because that to those people who think that theory is true, you need to be paying attention to the current chapters like that. Like if you whoever created that, they need to be on that because it could be correct. Um, but also like how would V be resurrected? How would V be resurrected? That's one of the like who would resurrect V and how would they do it? That's like how the fuck? I don't think it's impossible, but only an administrator level person can do some shit like that. So Hedon resurrecting V to use him as a fucking bot is diabolical, fam. Holy shit, that's diabolical. Um, I would agree. I would if that's the case, I would agree with Kira here that like Hedon might be on some evil shit for real. Um, I don't know. I don't believe V would be a ghost for Hedon. When Fanta attacks Zahard, killing everybody but Yuri and Zahard. Oh, I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if they consider that canon. I don't know if CU considers that to be a canon thing, a part of the story. So I don't take anything Phantominium has done as like a thing because it's been said it's irrelevant. So I don't know. Okay, Yuri must be important to the tower. The idea was that it was Hedon did something with some body of V to create ghosts, right? He's like only an administrator could revive a person. Only an administrator could revive a person. That's it. Nobody. I don't think any regular person can revive anybody. You have to have administrator level power to do that. Yeah, I don't consider the Phantominium stuff necessarily canon, so I don't know. I don't know if I would put that in my seven wonders to be real. I mean, if you put that in your own rand, cool. I don't know if I would put that in this. Another seven wonder. How the hell did he made all these baddies to upset him for thousands of years? Daniel, you might have to rephrase that one, brother. You might have to rephrase that one. You two want to go outside now, sir? We ain't doing this. You shouldn't have came in here if you don't want to stay in here. Um, another seven wonder. Where the fuck is any sealed at? Where the fuck is any sealed at? That's got to be one, right? That's got to be one, right? Cause I will say one thing that people do every time we get a new location on the floor that seems like a little bit mysterious and hidden. People always say Annie's sealed here. Annie's sealed here. I was one of those people who thought she was sealed at the Sprout because I'm not gonna lie. I thought she was sealed here. And is it not a good place to seal somebody? I mean, obviously Enkidu was sealed here, so it is a good place to seal somebody. But Annie's not sealed here. I would put that has to be one. I think that has to be one. Y'all let me know if y'all agree with that. All right, all right, all right. Get out, get out, get out. Bye, bye, sir. Get your ass out. I ain't about to play these games with you. Yeah, Annie's location um absolutely has to be one. It's not updating. I need you to update, fam. Why are you not updating? That's weird. Technology being weird. Yeah, it's not changing. Maybe if I switch over real quick. No, still didn't do anything. Okay. All right. Anyway, I know I think many people know where any things are. I think, right, but we don't know as the people, we don't know. But maybe it's not that important. Maybe it's just me. I thought it was an important thing. Oh, that is a good one, Rand. The painting. What's the painting? That's not bad. I think I would add that for now. I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. It's not updating though. The text is not updating. It's annoying. It's annoying. Coon Riz should be in there. A seven wonder. You know, it might be easier for me than using that text shit.
I don't know how.
Stop it, Siri. I didn't ask you for anything.
I'm not sure I understand.
I didn't ask you for anything. Hmm. What does the painting have to do with the outside of the tower? Let's be realistic. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. The painting has never been a thing on my list, but I can see it being on some people's list. Like I get it. I've never really thought about it, even with Hockney talking about it. Uh, what was the second one? Where's Arlen? That's better. And then we'll do a window capture. No, that's not what I want. That is not what I want. Oh, maybe I can't. Damn. I just did all that for nothing. That sucks. Yeah, that's in the Baza theory, Rand. So that's a part of the Baza theory. If you've ever watched the Baza theory video, they talk about like, um, a lot of people think that what Hockney saw is the door to get outside. Um, I don't know if there's any credence to that. I can't say whether or not it is. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to pull it up in the notes. It'd be easier for me to type it versus fighting with the shit. Much easier for me to type it. I just had to fight it to get it to open. I need to lock this down, so I need to do lock, 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 lock. That'll work. If I had to add another one, I mean, the other one was V. V was the big question, but we have him now, so. Hmm. What? Okay, here's another one. What did the family heads do that caused the breakup between them and the Grace people? Is that a 7-1? Is that one? Would you consider that to be one? I think I would consider that to be one. Because that was one thing we were all guessing about. Like, a lot of people were saying that it was a grape case between Zahard and Arlen. Some people were saying that um, they massacred a bunch of people who were like they people, because you know that what kind of happened is they had like a bunch of followers and a lot of people switched sides and they were saying that they massacred those people. um I don't know. I think it's a big question. I don't know if it's a seven wonder though. It might not be. Shinsu black hole sphere is another seven wonder. Is it? Why, Cam? Why do you think so? True, Daniel. I agree. I agree. Since it is a thing that we've recently learned more about, it's probably getting close to exposing what it is. I can agree. I could agree with that. Why it wouldn't be one? Okay, I can agree. Mm, yeah. Well, I think that's because they don't have any limitations. I don't think that's I don't think that's a crazy con. Since they don't have any Shinsu and they're blessed by Shinsu, they can do what they want with it. I think that makes sense. How many floors are there? Mm, I don't think that's important, Daniel, because we've been trapped on one floor for so long. I don't know if that's a big question that everybody wonders about. Like, wonders has to be something that people constantly make theories on and they wonder about. Because the tower has been sealed off for such a long time, some people even speculate that there's only one more floor. I've seen people speculate that there's one more floor, and that's why it's a hard sealed it. The 135th floor is the last floor before the tower gets completed, and that after that's why he sealed it because he doesn't want to complete the tower. Like I've seen that theory a lot. Um, I don't know, but we don't know, and I don't know if that's a wonder that the people wonder about. Ooh, okay. There's got to be one surrounding the rings and the clones. What's one surrounding the clones, the Zahara clones? Even though I hate Wingnam, that was talking to Sword about what was Wingnam talking to about the swords and the rings. That's a good one, but we need a question. We need an exact question or exact thing to say. So what's one that would surround that? I think okay. Let me get y'all opinion on this first before I put it down. What is the red light district? What is the red light district? Just a farm? That sounds so fucking insane to say. That sounds so fucking insane to say. What the fuck? A farm sounds so crazy. A people farm sounds so crazy. Is there a, let me go to the wiki. Is there a definition? Is there a definition? It's only giving me the prince of the red light district. Is there no separate section for just red light district? There is no separate Wikipedia for the red light district. That's interesting. There's no wiki created that about the red light district. It says princes of the red light district. That's it. Actually, if we go on Tower God Reddit, we can see what the most popular theories are and what people talk about. Because if I show y'all here, if I show you on this Google real quick, there's like a bunch of Reddit threads on it. If I can pull this shit up. If I can pull it up. There we go. There's a bunch of them down here. Red light district purpose: the prince of the red light district, and Ryu the red light district, the floor of death. Yeah, it's a popular thing. The red light district. I know we've gotten more things about it recently, but it is a popular thing. Hmm. Okay. Red light district is a sex scene. Is it just a sex scene though? I think it's a farm. I really think it's a farm. Even when you hear Belier talk about all he can remember is like the red lights of the red light district. Like bro was bred in a farm, bro. Like Gustang went to that nasty ass farm and bred that man Belier. The surrounding area of the lab. So what you're saying is you think that in the center of the red light district is the lab that Trom has, and that well, Cam, I think the red light district is absolutely a people farm. I think it's a person farm. So like, first of all, Trom's lab, Trom's lab has everything to do with the red light district because we saw the red lanterns in Trom's ship. There were red lanterns in Trom's ship. I don't know if you forgot that there are red lanterns in Trom's ship. So there's absolutely a correlation between experimenting, since we know for a fact that he experiments, and the red light district. It might have been created by Zahar and Trom. We know that Gustang takes a part of it because because of Belier. I think I understand what Rand. It might be in the center of the lab. I can see that being a possibility. I got a good one about the weapon that Ja Wingnan received in the data arc, the speaking sword. What about it, Daniel? I do think the red light district is a farm. I think it's a people farm. I think that's where they experiment on people and shit. Like I legit like because obviously the princes of the red light district are Zahar's kids. They're called princes for a reason because they were bred from the king. That's like that's number one, number two. Zahar's the king. Number two, he tried to make sons. That's why they're called the princes of the red light district. Each prince has a red ring that probably signifies that they're a prince. Um, but they're clones though. They are for sure Zahar clones. So that's farm life. That's farm shit. Like that's nasty work. That's experiment shit. Like that's absolutely nasty work. Hmm. I don't know if I will put that as a seventh wonder. I'm not sure. Hmm. All right. About the seven wonder stuff, we'll put it to bed for now. We're gonna put it to bed for now. We're gonna have to come back to it. I'm gonna save that list. Come back to it for sure. Um, Now I do. I don't think I'm gonna read comments this week. Um, because I don't have a lot of time. I do have to be somewhere in the next like 45 minutes, so I don't have a lot of time. Um, I did want to talk about V a little bit more. Do you guys think that V is a selfish or bad person? Just a question. I'm not saying he is. It's just a question. Because I think that V is a very selfish person. However, he can do things that are very selfless. He can, but it's his decision making is in question for me because some people were arguing or said that okay, let me start with this. V told them not to cut the source of the power because he wanted to test out his new power. I think that is one of the most fucked up things you can do. Because we know for a fact that his friends were getting fucked up. His friends were getting fucked up. That's a fact, okay? Zahard, Eduan, Gus Dangatron, they were all getting fucked up. The robots was fucking them up. So, bro don't care about none of that. Bro would rather go test out his power than... Because what if in that moment that he said, no, don't cut the power. I can be down here fighting. And then one of them gets killed. Or somebody gets killed. It's his fault because he didn't want to cut the power because he wanted to test his power. That's not a good decision. That's not the decision of a leader would make. Logically speaking, if you're the leader, you got to make the best decision possible for everybody. Which just means like, oh, we killed the problem now. That was a bad decision. And it came back to haunt them. Now, some people are saying that the RAM incident and that the power situation is not the same thing. They're saying that it's two different situations. I don't think it is. Those are the same robots that we saw that were in that room and hurting them. And that the power switch was the power switch to cut the power to them. So I'm sorry. I think it was the same situation. I think it was absolutely the same situation. If it was a different situation and we learned that later on, I can't accept that. And I'll say that I'm wrong here. But I think it's the same situation. I think it's the same area. So he should have cut the power. He should have absolutely cut the power. But because he didn't, they got put in a situation where they couldn't get back in the room, and V felt, and that's exactly why though in that situation, V felt like he was the only one that could do something because he has this newfound power. But my nigga, y'all wouldn't be in that situation if you just cut the fucking power to the robots. So, and then him not calling his friends, the way they reprimanded him in the beginning of the chapter is exactly what they should have did. Bro, why didn't you call us to tell us that you found the source of the problem? Instead of doing that, he went to go train himself. He went to go train and fight himself. Oh, this is a right spot? I'm going to use it myself. You should have contacted your friends. They all could have came down. They all could have dealt with the problem. They all could have made a collective decision on what to do. Instead, he did it himself. I think that's some very selfish shit to do. So, I don't know. V just missed his opportunity to be overpowered. He did. Because giving the power to everybody doesn't make you a good person. You're giving power to people that may not necessarily want it. You're giving power to things that may not necessarily want it. You're just giving out power, fam. And now you could be making somebody else's life harder. What if there's a city on the next floor that has weaker monsters that they can fight off? And now, because he wants to give this Shinsu out to everybody, these plant monsters evolve into these fucking chimera plant shits that's now eating motherfuckers. That's V's fault. That's absolutely his fault. He would absolutely be... It's absolutely his fault. It's no question. There's no... He made that decision. Honestly, if bro committed S-side because he caused so many issues... Too much blood on his hands? That's a massive possibility. There could be a lot of blood on his hands for that decision he made. And the weight of it could be killing him. It could have crushed him. It's that I could believe that. I don't know, man. And oh yeah, he Goku. That's a very good comparison. That is a very, very good comparison. Goku is not a perfect character. Goku is a very likable character, just like V is. V is a likable character, but these motherfuckers make bad decisions that cause problems for everybody else. Good point. He might be Goku. Goku might be the most accurate depiction of what he is. a lot of main characters have that flaw. Like Luffy has that same problem. Like them just making bad emotional decisions. Um, it had yeah, a lot of main characters have that. I didn't watch Hunter x Hunter, so I'm not sure what the comparison to Gone is. I can't necessarily relate to that myself, but I can understand like the likable character who makes bad emotional decisions thing. Yeah, I think that's what V is. So that means that V absolutely has flaws if he's like them. But yeah, so is there anything else we want to talk about before I hop off here? I'll say to you, you zookeeper family. I'll say to you zookeepers. I do not. I do take the side of Trom here. Okay, I'll let you guys know I take the side of Trom here. Trom is not wrong for making that decision because no inaction is an action. I am a person who believes in knowing that no action is an action. Okay, if he didn't do it, Zahar and Gustang would have eventually got fucked up. They would have eventually got fucked up by them robots, and the people would have died. So what's the choice here? Let my friends get fucked up, and the people die, or just let the people die? Nah, fuck them people. All right, yeah, we ain't saying that, Ram. We ain't saying that. We ain't saying that. We ain't saying that. We ain't saying that. It's still Gus Gang. Don't get it twisted for a second, okay? No, we ain't doing that. We ain't saying that. What I am saying though is that Trom's not wrong here. I would not consider this a sin. However, Trom's entire history is getting delved into, okay? Trom's entire history is getting delved into. So we have to come when we're gonna he's getting judged for everything, every sin that he possibly committed. So that's not one. But are there more? Absolutely. We seen him kill Amweez on purpose. Like, what are we talking about? So, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up, gang. I appreciate you guys. This was a fun stream. The Seven Wonders thing, we do have to tackle that. We're gonna try to do that another time. Maybe next Friday. We'll open the stream with that. Y'all, in the meantime, try to cook some stuff up. If you're in the Discord, one of my mods, you guys are all in here. If you could drop the Discord link for anybody that's just watching or um yeah, we'll have to run the Seven Wonders thing back. I think that is a fun topic to tackle, and that maybe once we tackle them all, we can maybe start to break some of them down and try to look at details and try to actually research some shit on some shit. I think that would be a fun thing to do. I would be willing to dedicate a whole stream to breaking down where the fuck is these Seven Wonders. That would be a cool and fun thing to do. I wouldn't mind like doing that for a night. So, but till then. Chat about it in the Discord if you feel, if you want to or not. New chapter on Sunday that'll be lit. So if you're not in the Discord, Sundays are always lit because everybody's talking about the chapter. So come through. But till then, you guys have a very good weekend. Be safe. Chevy. Chevy had a kid. Chevy, if you're watching this back, I'm happy for you, brother. Congratulations on the healthy child. I'm happy. I'm always happy to see new life. Congratulations to you, brother. Enjoy that. And anybody in the Discord who's in there, give the brother a good shout out. You know, brother just had a kid, so I'm happy and happy to see it. We're a small community, so we should support each other and give props to the good stuff like that. So yeah. Till then, guys, I'll see you soon. Peace out. Love you.